Welcome back, everybody. Today we're making a classic German dish, beef rouladen, or in English stuffed beef rolls, with German braised red cabbage. In my humble opinion, probably the best red cabbage I ever had. And at the end of the video, we're gonna show you how to make a simple gravy that goes perfectly with the rouladen. So welcome to Linda's Home Kitchen, and let's cook. So let's start out making the braised red cabbage. We are using an entire head of red cabbage. And first we cut it in half so we can take out the core. And then we quarter it so we can thinly shred it. I personally love cabbage. You can do so many things with it. I love stuffed cabbage rolls. And of course, being a German, I love pork and white cabbage. But this German braised red cabbage is one of my absolute favorites. So the red cabbage is done, and now we're gonna dice one onion. We're looking for small uniform pieces. Best way to accomplish that is to make a couple horizontal slices, a couple vertical slices. And now when you cut the onion from the top down, you will end up with small uniform pieces. So next we need 2 apples. We cut out the core. And we also peel them. And then we simply gonna shred them. So now we are ready to cook. We add a 1/4 cup of bacon fat to a Dutch oven over medium heat. And we add the onions and cook them until they are translucent. Next we add the red cabbage. And the apples. We also add a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves, 1 cup of applesauce, as well as 2/3 of a cup red wine or apple cider vinegar. We also add 1/2 cup of red wine and a cinnamon stick. Next we season it with 1 tablespoon of salt and 2 teaspoons of black pepper. So now we mix everything really well. Then reduce the heat to low, and now we let it simmer for about 60 to 90 minutes. So now we have time to prepare our beef rolls. For the stuffing, we're gonna dice 1/2 pound of bacon. By the way, a little trick: if you semi-freeze the bacon, it makes it easier to cut. Next, we're gonna chop 2 onions, meaning the pieces can be a little bigger. Basically cut it into chunks, just like that. Perfect size for the recipe. Also needed for the stuffing are pickles. Recipe asks for 2 to 3 pickles. I like a lot of pickles in my beef rolls, so we're gonna go with 3. The easiest way to dice the pickles is cut them in half, strip them, and cut them in small cubes. Next, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of oil to a saucepan over medium heat. We add in the onions and the bacon. And we cook them until the onions are about translucent. So now we can take them off the stove. We scoop out the onion bacon mix. And to finish the stuffing, we simply add the pickles to it. Mix it well, and then we just set it aside to cool. So now we are ready to put together the beef rouladen. Linda uses 8 slices of thin sliced top round beef. We lay them out flat on our cutting board. And now we spread each slice with a good quality mustard. By the way, for those of you new here, we are Linda and Stefan, a German-American couple. Linda's parents used to own a German restaurant in Philadelphia for 42 years. Linda was cooking there for decades, but she was also the pastry chef. And I simply enjoy filming her creations and sharing them with you on YouTube. Anyways, let's season the beef rolls with salt and pepper. And now we place about 1 tablespoon of the onion bacon mix on top of each slice. By the way, if you want to support a small mom and pop channel on YouTube, please give us a like or subscribe to the channel. We would really appreciate that. So now to form the rolls, we fold in the sides. By folding in the sides, we make sure the stuffing doesn't drop out. And once they're rolled up, we place a toothpick in each seam. This way we secure them and they don't fall apart in the pan. So now we put 2 tablespoons of oil over medium heat in a saucepan. And now we put the beef rouladen in the pan. Make sure when you put them in the pan, you put the beef rolls with the seam side down, because that also helps keeping them together. And then when they're nicely browned, you simply flip them over and you brown them on the other side. So now we can get ready to make the sauce. We chop 1 carrot and 1 celery stalk. They act as our aromatics. And we brown them in the same pan. Next we add 1 cup of red wine. And 2 cups of beef stock. And now we braise the meat until it's tender. So let's remove the rouladen. And to make the sauce, we're gonna strain the liquid. So basically we filtered out all the carrots and the celery. And now we return the strained liquid back into the pan. And to thicken the sauce, we're gonna mix 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 1/3 of a cup of water. Make sure it's mixed well and has no clumps in it. And then we pour the cornstarch mix slowly into the sauce, a little bit at a time, and keep stirring until the sauce is thick enough. So now we can return the rouladen back into the gravy. Let it simmer on low for about 5 minutes. And in the meantime, we can take care of our red cabbage. It's time to thicken it as well with a little bit of the cornstarch water mix. After adding the cornstarch, we mix it well and cook it for 1 more minute. And now we are ready to plate it. So we put a nice scoop of red cabbage on the plate. We actually don't have a starch today. Normally we would serve that with mashed potatoes or a German spätzles, but the video is already too long, so we skipped that step today. But we're definitely going to make a video about German spätzles in the near future, for sure. But I gotta say, the beef rouladen look awesome, and they tasted even better. Just don't forget to take out the toothpicks. It's not fun biting into one of those. Now we pour a little bit of that wonderful gravy on top of it and sprinkle it a little bit with parsley. And there you have it, your German braised red cabbage and beef rouladen. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Until next week, yours truly, Linda and Stefan.